Hey everyone, today we're talking product shots. This is something that I actually personally really like to do, but I haven't done a video on it yet, so I thought I'd walk you through kind of how I do a quick down and dirty product shot setup that you can do in your house with a single light. I think in a future episode I'll show you what a kind of bigger studio setup looks like, but this is something that you could do with a single speed light, a single mono tube strobe, or even a pretty bright constant light. So let's jump really fast and I'll show you the setup of what it looks like, how I set it up, and kind of the different tools that I use. Again, this is kind of a basic setup that you would do in the corner of your house, on a tabletop, something like that. So let's jump over to that video and then we'll come back and we'll start the processing of the photo. So what I have here is I have this Radium Engineering or overflow tank for my 2015 Mustang, and I'm going to do some product shots for a write-up that I'm going to be doing. And then, so basically the setup is I have a softbox here with my Flashpoint flash. I have 3 pieces of foam core board that are white, so the back, the base, and then the front. And then what this does is this will give us a white base for the product. So everything up here is pretty much black, so it'll really pop off the white. This is less about the background. You will see a little bit of the background, but this is more to bounce light in, and same thing with this. So this light's going to come down, it'll bounce off here, bounce here, and come back. Right now I have the flash set at half power, and I have the camera set at ISO 100 at f8, and I think I'm at 1/100th of a second. So for me, with all of the setting with the light, that's going to give me a perfectly white background. I went through and I experimented with it a little bit. Really, it's kind of trial and error, so you just have to take a test shot, see what it looks like, adjust your settings, either your flash or your f-stop up and down, just to get that right balance. So, but this is what it looks like. It's really a cheap setup. 3 pieces of foam core, under $10 at any store. So let's take a quick shot and I'll show you what it's going to look like, and then we can go and process it. So here you can see the final result. So we wanted a high key white backdrop. Everything, all the product is pretty much black. So the white really pops off of there. We wanted something that will blend into a website and really just show off the product. So this is what the final product looks like. I only adjusted things in Lightroom. So let's jump over to one that hasn't been retouched, and I'll show you the steps that I did to get from here to here. So if we look at this shot, this is the one that we just took. What we're going to do first is we missed the foam core just a little bit. That's fine. I actually shot it wide enough that we can crop in and not have to worry about that. The other thing we want to do is we want to make sure this background around here is completely white, and then just the gloss of the metal parts has kind of washed it out a little bit. So we're going to bring back some of that black, add some clarity in. So the first thing we want to do is just grab our crop tool. We're going to crop in until the sides are full, and we'll move down just a bit. So that's pretty close. The next thing we want to do is, if you look up here in your histogram, if you hover over this, this is going to show the areas that are pure white in the image. We're going to go ahead and click on that because we want to be able to see. So if we were to upload this right now onto a white background, you would see this kind of yellowish tinge. There just wasn't enough light in this area. And same thing here on the backdrop. So an easy way to get rid of that is we're going to go over here to our adjustment brush. We're going to double click the effect to zero everything out, and then we're going to increase the whites. We may have to increase the exposure just a little bit, but we're going to start with this and we're going to see how this works. So we're going to take this brush and we're going to just start painting over the areas that are not pure white. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. We want to make sure we don't paint in over the product. But as you can see, this is getting rid of all the areas that are not pure white. And I found that when you paint, some of these areas in here aren't going to be pure white, but if it blends into the sides, you usually won't see that. If you want, you could take this a step further, go into Photoshop, go into those, mask those out a little bit better. But again, with that general fade into there, you're going to have a little bit of different coloration and things like that. So I found that that's not really a huge issue. So let's get out of our adjustment brush really quick. Let's go back into here. Let's click off this for a second just so it's less distracting. And then let's bring back some of the blacks. So that's going to help these black parts in here come back a little bit and show that nice deep dark black. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to increase the clarity just a little bit. And another thing that I want to do is maybe pull the highlights back just a little bit. Actually, we don't want to do that. Maybe we'll get a brush and we'll do that. So let's grab our adjustment brush. Again, let's hit that effects button and let's make this really small and pull back the highlights and go in here and let's paint it off some of this product in here. We may have to pull back a little bit more. We may also have to pull back the exposure some. So we go in and we paint on these. We just want these areas to be, we want it to have detail. Now we shot this with the intention of the web, so it doesn't really matter if these areas are highlighted. If you were printing this, then it would be an issue. When you see the red, that means it's pure white. And so what that means is when you print, you're not going to have any ink there. It's just going to be the base paper shining through. We got a little bit more just in the corner. We'll just pop this up just a little bit. Then if we're working down, we'll go down here to sharpening. We'll increase our sharpening. We'll hit our option key just so we're sharpening the edges. And honestly, I think we're pretty good right there. If we wanted to, we could also go here. We don't want to do that. Let's zoom in. Another thing with product shots that's really important is to thoroughly clean your products. As you can see, I completely neglected doing that. So if you were doing this for a web shoot or something other than just for yourself, you would have to go in and get rid of all of this dust and junk that's on top of this product. Or a better choice would be just to spend a few seconds and do this before you actually shoot. I'm not going to bore you with going through and doing that because that would take a while. As you can see, sometimes it's better just to get it right in camera. So it would be better to take some microfiber cloth and just wipe that off really fast. The minute that you spend cleaning all of your products will save you hours in the back end. So, but I mean, just a quick, easy product shot. This would look good on a blog. I'm actually using this on my car build. So, quick, easy steps. Setup only took a few minutes. And then, as you saw, everything was done right here in Lightroom. Just export it. So, hopefully, these tips help you. Like I said, I think in a future episode, I will show you what a more, I guess, kind of production shoot with, let's say, 3 lights, how that looks. And the difference with that is you don't have a lot of time if you're doing production shots to go in and make each of the backgrounds white. So you really want to get that done in camera, but in order to do that, you're going to need a couple more lights. So that's the main difference. This is kind of a one-off small shoot, or if you don't have access to those additional lights. So hope you liked the video. As always, if you can like and leave some comments below on what you'd like to see, or if you have any questions. Until next time, take care.